I know somebody earlier was talking about Woody and they feel sorry for him. Look, there's a lot of Woodies in Atlanta. Let me just tell you, there's a lot of children that are raised just like that. And yes, they did have a hard life. And yes, they do have it rough. And it's sad. It's really sad to see. There's definitely room for Christ Church to reach out. I mean, Woody is a perfect example of why there should be a serious push to evangelize the inner city. I don't think you need to do anything special. I don't think you need to learn Ebonics or do anything like that, wear a dashiki or anything of that nature, acting ridiculous. But demonstrating, showing that you're concerned about that community is humongous. And the best way to do it is to start with the schools. Find the local school. I mean, Cleveland Avenue is right there. Maybe I should pull it up on a map. There's so many schools that, Woody went to. Everybody remember what school Woody went to? He told D.A. Hilton on Thursday where he went. He went to Slater Elementary School. That's an at-need school right here in Atlanta Public, right here. And I mean, there's so many schools that are like that need assistance and help and so on and so forth. If your church would volunteer to support and help that school, you're doing a whole bunch to derail the Woodies of the world. There's still going to be crime. There's still going to be a lot of things that are still, but if you want to okay, where could we really get the most bang for our buck? Atlanta Public Schools. And man, I started to pull it up and then stopped. He mentioned that he went to the school. By no means is this the end of every school that is in the Atlanta area. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, let me show you real quick. And I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. It's about 139 of y'all watching this. Hey, my name is Jason. I like to give social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective. And tonight we just went over the highlights of the Young Thug case. And now I just wanted to kind of go over. All right, so this is Slater Elementary School. This is one of the schools that Lil Woody said he went to. Okay. Now I'm just going to tell you this little caveat. You see these streets right here? These are the main intersections, the main highways, interstates. This one going left to right is called I-20. And the one going north to south is 7585. Now, of course, this is what's called Spaghetti Junction in the middle. And it looks exactly like that. It looks crazy, right? It looks bananas. But here we go. This is I-20. If you ever hear anybody joking, there's the house, Morehouse College is right there, the house. If you hear anybody ever talking about south of 20, this is what they're talking about. Lower end, south of I-20, generally speaking, is predominantly minority, highly melanated people, okay? And a lot of the time, they're not necessarily the most rich, okay? It's just a statement of fact. Okay. So if you were going to be down here in south of 20, you know what kind of stuff you're going to be experiencing. Okay. You know, you're going to be dealing with convenience stores. You know, you're going to probably be dealing with a little bit more, as we like to say, the element, if you will. So you know that's what you're going to experience. You're not going to be experiencing sunshine and rainbows and walking to church with your family hand in hand. That's not what you're going to necessarily be experiencing south of 20. So here's Slater Elementary. Where's Slater? Oh, actually, Slater's further south. That's right. Okay. All right, so here's Slater Elementary School right here. So it's real close to I-85 and 75. Not terribly far, but it's also right here off of this little side to side. It's called University Avenue. My goodness, in the morning. So this is a very interesting area of town. But so long story short, here's Carver High School is right over here. It's exactly what you think it is, man. It's exactly what you think it is. It's a very impoverished area. There's lots of people that are disenfranchised and such like that. They need a lot of hope. So if you ever wanted to do something, like you would pick this kind of school right here, and y'all have to commit. You'd have to commit to a multi-year program, multi-year digging in with this community, coming to do read alouds, coming to do book bags at the end of at the beginning of the school year, coming to support for Christmas. If you or your church really wanted to help out in a situation like this, that would be a great way to start with a school like this, because you're gonna defuse 2 or 3 or 5 or 6, maybe even more possible Woodies. Now they're gonna still be, again, there's gonna still be heartbreak. There's gonna still be situations that are not that you're not coming in here with a riding in on a white horse. You're doing your very best with what you got, which is the demonstration and expression of love to this community and sharing Christ with them. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and you're going to do your best. And again, there's going to be some letdowns, there's going to be some hurts and some heartaches that you're not going to be able to change everybody. However, this is a great way to actually reach out to a community and help them. And so that's just something I noticed, and just something I'll just bring up. I would think that would be a great way to help. If somebody said, hey, well, what can we do? As you're listening to Woody, y'all know that poor guy. If he had a GED, I'd be surprised. Okay. If he said he didn't even make it out of middle school. He didn't ever remember going to high school. So he probably stopped somewhere in his 7th, 8th grade somewhere. 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, somewhere around there. He didn't, that's sad. And he's 37, something like that. So he's been going this long without having any real tools for success, any real gifts and abilities to do something. He probably is. I'm sure he probably is a very capable person. He probably can learn how to turn a wrench. He probably can learn how to do some HVAC, be a woodworker or whatever like that. But he just didn't have it. So, but imagine if you, your church's outreach, your missions department, whatever like that, reached out and tried to help a school in this area. And the thing is, you got to commit for multi years. You got to commit from support the kindergarten class all the way to when they leave the elementary school, all the way till they get to 5th grade. You got to be ready to you got to be locked in all the way. We're going to be in here helping them out. We're going to come in there and we're going to find a way to get our parishioners over there to do read alouds every week or every month or whatever. We're doing this for book bags at the end of the summer. We're helping this way in Thanksgiving, helping them at Christmas. It has to be a full or plan, because that's how you derail a lot of this stuff here. Again, stuff that we're seeing with Woody, it is sad, because this is, I hate to say like it's normal, because it's abnormal in one breath, but it's extremely normal here in Atlanta. And everybody talks about Atlanta's, New York of the South and all that stuff. Say that to yourself to make yourself feel good. We're just as bumpkin as anybody else. We have nothing to stick our chests out about. We're just as embarrassing, and y'all all see it now, as anywhere else. So when I bring that up, I just want to point that out as just something to consider, to think about, pray about. Maybe there's a school near you that could possibly be benefited from you all doing something. My church, we have a school, elementary school, that we support. We fill up their food pantry 3 times a year. We fill the food pantry up so that parents that the school decides are in need or wants to help out, they have all the supplies they need, all of the dry goods and such like that. And then during Thanksgiving, we bring turkeys. So we fill the pantry up with the dry goods and such like that, and then we bring the turkeys as well. We've done things like the toy drives and such, but we've found more value to the community of doing the food pantry, filling up the school's food pantry. And so that's what we do. But maybe you can do something different. So when you look at Woody, and somebody mentioned earlier, and the only reason I'm having this conversation is somebody mentioned earlier that Woody looks like he's had a very hard life. And no, that's unequivocal. There's no doubt in my mind that he's had a very, very rough life. There's no doubt in my mind that he's had an extremely difficult life. He's had a lot of ups and downs. For crying out loud, I think the dude's been shot at 4 times. 4 times. Multiple shots. So not just like a stray bullet here or, one little passing, but multiple shots. Like, man, come on. I've never had that in my life. We see it, and I'm sure if we go back and look at some of the other witnesses that they've had on the stand, there's a lot of that in that area. And I think the best thing that we can do, of course, is find their actual physical needs. That, is there a physical need that you can help? But at the end of the day, it's not the physical need that is the biggest glaring problem. The biggest glaring problem is that Woody is God's enemy. Apart from God regenerating his heart and turning his stone cold, dare I say, killer heart into a heart of concern and flesh, he's going to die as God's enemy. He will have no mediator. He will have no one to stand between him and the hot fury of God's wrath that's stored up for him. So sure, he needs a vocabulary. Sure, he needs a job. Sure, he needs to get out of the gang. Those are all true statements. But those won't matter once he closes his eyes for the last time. What will matter is that he will open up his eyes as God's enemy eternally. So as we're looking at that, of course, try our best to be helpful, try our best to meet those physical needs that these people have and that the communities have. But at the end of the day, what's needed at Slater Elementary School, Mechanicsville, and all these other places is the gospel, is what's needed far more than just simply physical needs. Sure, they need crime to go down, but the only reason crime is up is because people are God's enemies and they hate God, and they're demonstrating and expressing it through their hatred toward man. That's it. The only reason they got prostitution and all this stuff is because people hate God, and they're expressing it through this way. I mean, that's just it. Summation of it. I'm making it super simple, but it's extremely difficult, and we need to be involved in it. So that was it. I'm still finding this case to be very interesting. But at the end of the day, I think there's so much that we can glean from it. And we can see, even with like a judge, like a judge is making these kind of bad decisions when he should be seen as dare I say, the paramount of making good decisions, if that were possible. I think we all can kind of assume like a judge should be making the right decisions. He or she should be making the right decisions. I mean, this judge is making all the wrong decisions. Like, my goodness, in the morning. Can you, good gravy. You just staying wrong. Like, you just want to be wrong. My name is Jason. As I just showed y'all, I live here in Atlanta, Georgia. I find these cases super interesting because I know these places. I'm involved in these places. Like I said, I actually used to teach not too far from Slater. It's super interesting to see these things, but then also on one note, it's kind of sad to see what I think we all kind of agreed to is just some rank corruption. The odor of mendacity is choking at this point. Like it's insane that, again, like, and I'm kind of prone to try to give, especially when I know that somebody has served our country. Judge Glanville has actually a former captain in the Army. He served very faithfully in our country and such like that. But my goodness, in the morning, he is dropping the ball right here. And I feel sorry to see it. I wish that he would make some other decisions and definitely the decision to get out of the way. If this case is a clean case, then I would hope that he would get out of the way so the case can be clean. Somebody else can come in and move forward. But I don't know if that's even possible at this point. So it is really sad to see, like, man, this is the corruption of man. Like this, again, maybe Young Thug is as guilty as today's Monday. Well, at this current moment, this other team has been working so hard to prove that he's not. I'm sorry, to prove that they're going to do dirty dealings, that it almost doesn't even matter that he was guilty. You can't prove it because you've put the odor of mendacity on everything. So now that's it. I'm not going to talk all night.
Hit that like for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian.